This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Yingling Lager. Bottoms up!
Blinded by the light, wrapped up like a douche, another runner in the night. Blinded by the light, wrapped up like a douche, another runner in the night. Blinded by the light,
Down the hatch. It goes straight to your liver.
It's America's oldest brewery.
Yeah, it is. Alright, so, hello everyone. Welcome to the Snyder-Collin Podcast. It's a very lovely day here in an unspecified city in Florida. I am your co-host, Colin Goody. And like always, I'm joined by my lovely, scantily clad, dressed co-host.
Hello, it is I. I've returned. I'm back for another one of these things. I don't know how many of these things I can do, but maybe we'll,
We're gonna keep doing them.
Yep. As long as they pay us.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like a Daniel Craig type.
Yeah?
Yeah, that was my Daniel Craig bit. That was it. That was all it was.
So, the biggest release of October came out this past week. It's a part of a property, an IP, you could say, that's been around for, pretty much like 30 years, practically.
Yeah, a very long time.
Yeah. Has a huge cult fan base, and it's pretty highly regarded in its respected genre film. And that movie, of course, is Cult of Chucky. What do you think I was gonna say?
How
Blade
long-
Runner?
Yeah. I'm wondering how long you've been trying to do that bit right there.
Since I saw Cult of Chucky and realized that we haven't seen Blade Runner yet, which we will later tonight, and we'll give you our uncensored thoughts on it.
Yeah, we're actually gonna kind of do like a half and half type thing, where we
We bought a mic.
Oh shit!
Is that an early plug?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I guess we're gonna talk about our expectations for Blade Runner. Then we'll be back about 10 hours later once the movie's finally over.
Yep.
And then we'll give you our thoughts.
Yeah, it's gonna be really fun. I haven't had a nap today, so that'll be a good opportunity for me to get some sleep in during the movie. So,
yeah, I'm looking forward to nap time.
Yeah, as am I. It's gonna be a fun time.
So,
But, yeah.
anyways, Cult of Chucky, Jacob.
What do you think?
Well, I want to get your little insight first, because I know you haven't seen any of the Child's Play films.
Yeah, no, it just always they always look dumb as shit to me, and
Very fair.
I didn't really want to do it, so I didn't. But yeah, that's that.
The Chucky films actually go back a good ways. I feel like it was something you kind of had to see when you were younger, I guess, even though it wasn't intended for children.
Yeah, I can see that. That makes sense.
Like, because growing up, it seemed like every kid was afraid of Chucky, but they hadn't even, like, seen the movies. They'd just see maybe, like, the DVD or VHS cover at, like, a Blockbuster or something, and, like, maybe their brother, sister, or parent would be like, yeah, it's about a doll that comes to life and tries to kill, people. And, as a kid, that's, like, the most terrifying thing.
It really is. I think that like most of the kids that actually watched those Chucky movies were they were just really poorly parented. They were.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah,
Well-
like kind of like
Like me?
yeah. No, like I don't know. It was kind of like the rebel kids that would always watch Chucky and are like, yeah, I've seen like every Chucky movie, and I'm like, wow, you have issues at home probably.
Yes, very much. I remember, I think I was 9 years old. I was at Movie Gallery, the one that used to be by that Publix right up the road.
Oh,
That
what
was
a classic.
Yeah, that was the one we always went to.
Mm.
And I was looking around for like some movie to watch, and then I saw the Chucky movies. Child's Play, as they're called. I feel like a lot of people don't know that. They think they're all just called Chucky, Chucky 2. The first three is Child's Play 2. Can you guess what the third one is called?
Child's Play: Return of Chucky.
No, Child's Play 3.
Damn.
The original trilogy.
Oh, wow.
So I begged my mom because I wanted to see them because I was like, they can't be that scary. And I think it was 2 and 3 we rented. And I watched them and I thought they were awesome. Really, the first 3 Child's Play movies, they're just a lot of fun. They're fun slashers. And then it was with Bride of Chucky. That's when it became the kind of like, I don't want to say white trash, but like just kind of trashy like Chucky movies where it's all like corny schlock.
Yeah.
Meta, very meta.
Where people are like, what do you expect? It's a Chucky movie. And then you're like, go fuck yourself. I don't know. That was a bit that I came up with in my head there. I just wanted to say it, yeah.
My favorite one are the first 3 ones. Do you want to know the lore?
Yeah, I would actually. Let's go into depth on the lore of Chucky for a bit. Yeah.
Okay, so the first Child's Play, which is probably the best one in terms of like craft and actually trying to like scare you.
Yeah.
All right, so it's about this serial killer named Charles Lee Ray, or the Lakeshore Strangler.
Oh.
He practices voodoo and dark arts.
Okay.
That's what he's into.
All right.
And he's getting chased down by a cop. He's been shot at. He's bleeding. He's dying. He breaks into a toy store where they have a standoff. And he sees the good guy dolls, which are basically like Cabbage Patch Kids and My Buddy dolls, which were huge in the 80s.
Okay.
In the 80s, your parents are buying toys for their kids, and they're like, look, it's your friend. And that's what this movie was poking fun at. Was this commercialism of like, oh, you're going to buy this doll, and it's going to be your best friend, your best buddy. And it's like, well, what if this one tried to kill you? Played by Brad Dourif, by the way. He played Billy in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Mm-hmm. You're just like, go on.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes. More, please.
All right, he's dying. He takes out a good guy doll. He does his spell. Ade due Dambella, give me the power I beg of you.
Oh my god.
And then, big storm comes, lightning strikes. And basically then it cuts to this little 7-year-old boy named Andy Barclay.
Oh.
He lives with his mother, and it's his birthday.
Yeah.
And he's making her breakfast because he wants to show that he's a good boy. And the only thing he wants is a good guy doll.
Oh no. I see where this is going.
Mm-hmm. But the doll's very expensive, and it's very hard to find. So Andy's disappointed that he doesn't have a good guy doll, because he doesn't have a dad either, or brothers or sisters. So he actually really needs this doll to be his friend.
Yeah. And
then the mom, who works at like a makeup department store, played by Catherine Hicks from Seventh Heaven, if you know that show.
I don't.
But anyways, she buys this good guy doll from a homeless guy, like hustling, He's like, oh, I got this doll. Buys it, and then next thing you know, his babysitter's dead. Police come. He's like, it was Chucky. Chucky did it. And basically, Chucky has to put his soul into Andy's body, because if not, Chucky's insides begin to like manifest, and he literally turns into like a living doll.
Oh.
And that's what the first 3 films are about, is Chucky trying to put his soul into Andy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Chucky dies in every single one, by the way. He gets totally obliterated, but they always bring him back. It's hilarious.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. All right. I like that lore.
Yeah. And the first one's probably the creepiest one. The second and third one they're just fun movies. And then Bride of Chucky kind of took the Scream route, where it was like, horror movies aren't scary anymore. They're stupid. So let's poke fun at them and be very like meta and satirical.
Which one is this?
Bride of Chucky.
Okay.
The one that came out in the late 90s, 7 years after the third one.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then you have Seed of Chucky, which is about Chucky and his bride, Tiffany, their kid. It's just a dumb movie. And then like 6 or 7 years later, you have Curse of Chucky come out, and that was going straight to video on demand. And I was like, I rolled my eyes, and I was like, oh god. I watched the trailer, and I was like, this is gonna be terrible. It turned out it was actually like really solid, like
cool.
Shockingly, like one of the better straight to video like sequels. And then this Cult of Chucky movie came out, and it was just, it was strange. It was very, very strange. Strange choices were made.
Interesting. Tell me about these strange choices. I'd like to hear.
All right, so the whole franchise is in continuity. It's not rebooted or anything, which is very strange. Because when you're watching Curse of Chucky, the one that came out in 2013, you think they're ignoring Bride and Seed, but then by the end of the movie, you realize, no, they're not. Those movies are still in continuity, and it's kind of a head-scratcher. And the movies are all written by the same guy, Don Mancini, which is interesting. You think they just hand them to anyone. But in Cult of Chucky, it takes place in an insane asylum, and basically Chucky has a new spell where he can just, like, put his soul into other dolls and people. And it's just bad writing. I mean, not like Chucky's known for their good writing or anything, but it was just strange. He ends up putting his soul into this girl who was in Curse of Chucky.
Gotcha.
And
it's still in continuity.
Yeah. And the girl from Curse and Cult is actually played by Brad Dourif's daughter, Fiona.
Oh.
Who I believe is in Dirk Gently.
Oh.
So it's kind of a little family thing, you know? Like,
sure, yeah.
You know, the Chucky family.
Yeah, they always say that Chucky is about family.
Oh, yeah. Bride of Chucky, Seed of Chucky. One thing that was really cool about this is that the Andy Barclay, the actor who played the little boy, is back in this movie as like an adult, and he's like, I gotta find Chucky. He's pretty bad because he's not an actual actor. He's just like a guy.
Yeah. Interesting.
Basically, I think Child's Play should be simple, just about a killer doll in like suburbia.
I can agree with
or
that.
Something. Yeah. And I don't know. They just took it in a very odd direction.
Yeah, it sounds like they made some choices that are questionable.
Yeah.
But hey, you know what's not questionable?
What's that?
The fact that Justice League looks kind of okay.
Oh yeah, we did just watch that trailer.
Yeah, we did. Move my mic toward me a little bit better. There we go. Oh yeah.
There's something darker coming in this trailer.
Something darker.
That is a really lame line.
Yeah, it is. It's just shitty writing.
Like Cult of Chucky.
Yeah, it's very Cult of Chucky-esque. I don't know. I'm not really excited for this Justice League movie. I'm not gonna lie. The best looking parts of it are Wonder Woman, and I don't know if that's due to the fact that Gal Gadot. There isn't a definitive way to say her name, I don't think.
I just say Gadot.
It's open for interpretation. Yeah. But I don't know if it's because of the fact that she just is a very beautiful woman, or she's actually really great as Wonder Woman. I know she's really great as Wonder Woman, but she's very beautiful, you know? And I feel like she's great in Wonder Woman because of the writing in that movie and because of the direction and because she's at her best and it's great. But I don't know if, you know, because she wasn't that great in BVS.
Well, yeah, so Zack Snyder directed that one.
Yeah.
So I guess that would kind of explain.
Yeah.
Patty Jenkins is a bit more articulate.
Yeah. She's back for Wonder Woman 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Receiving a pay raise as well.
Good for her.
She's being paid about $9 million to do it.
Damn.
That's
We'll give you $500 million.
Gal Gadot got paid $300,000 for each of her appearances in BVS and Wonder Woman.
Wow.
That's not very much money.
It is a lot of money, but for the amount of money those movies make...
Yeah, it's kind of terrible, right?
I mean, like, how much does Robert Downey Jr. get for every time he appears in a Marvel movie? Like,
half of the box office run.
Yeah, like, what, like $50 million?
Yeah. It's outrageous. I don't know. It's just kind of... You know, it's cool that they're getting more pay for it, though. Because, like, honestly, who else deserves that extra pay? Patty Jenkins is the director of the best DC Extended Universe film. By far.
Very fair.
Yeah. Did you see... Did you hear? It's not actually called the DC Extended Universe.
Isn't it? Yeah, they were just like, we never actually called it that. And it was just like, I guess it was just like fans.
Yeah.
Isn't it called like the DCFU?
I actually think so. It stands for Detective Comics Fuck You.
Fuck you.
Yep.
That's what they're trying to say.
That is what they're trying to say. Oh, I think you might need a password. Oh,
nope.
No, you don't. Wow.
I think Warner Brothers is just like, let's just get this movie out of theaters.
Yep. Get it the fuck out.
So we can make Flashpoint and just redo everything. Damn, downing that water. You dehydrated? You were throwing the pigskin.
I was. When Colin came over to my house today, I was very shirtless.
Yeah, he was. He came running at me. It was like a dream come true.
And yeah, it was a good time though. It was fun. Jimmy and I, friend of the show, were throwing the podcast.
You're throwing the pot. Yeah, this whole desk and computers and mixer. You're tossing that back and forth with each other.
I put my phone on the podcast homepage and we were just tossing that around, It was a good time. But yeah, we were throwing the football around and the frisbee as well.
Yes, it was the frisbee too.
It was a good old time. We sat out by the pool. We had some brews. It was a good day. Good day. It was a good day. I'm doing.
Are you drunk right now, Jake?
Yeah, I'm very drunk. No, nah.
I did see that Yingling snap.
Yeah, you did. I did upload a Yingling snap, and they are actually the sponsor of today's show.
They're paying us in beer.
Yeah, and hats. They're sending us, and everybody who sends an email into the show, a free Yingling hat.
Look under your chair, everyone.
Everybody, look under your chairs. If you're in your bed, look under your bed.
If you just sleep on a box spring like I do, lift that shit up because there is a Yingling hat.
And a complimentary Yingling tall boy. The shittiest kind of Yingling.
The tall boy?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not as good in the can.
No, it's great in the bottle.
Yeah, it is.
You know what? It's great on draft.
Yeah.
Or not. It's fine.
It is. Sorry, I'm distracted by my tooth.
No, it's fine. I did want to talk to you because you have some insight.
I do.
You have a hot take on this Star Wars Episode 8, Disney's The Last Jedi Star Wars story.
I made a trailer reaction video, and it's me, like, wetting my lips every time I see a lightsaber or something, and
every time you see a reference that you know.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's the Millennium Falcon.
No,
I know that.
No, I actually really liked the trailer. I mean, like, it was fine.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Yeah.
It was Star Wars again.
It's okay. I'm beginning to not like Star Wars anymore. Because I'll tell you a story, okay?
Okay.
I'll tell you a little story about last night, alright?
Alright.
So, it's been a long day. I had to go to school. I had to do all that. That was it. It was long. I got home. All I wanted to do was just, watch some Monday Night Football. That's all I wanted to do.
Yeah.
The Bears and I believe, who was it that played last night? Chicago and I don't remember who.
Yeah, it wasn't the Packers. I think that was the week before.
No, I think it. God damn it! I don't even fucking remember the game.
Wait, so did you watch this trailer on Monday Night Football?
I watched it live on Monday Night Football. Let me see. Before I finish this fucking story, let me see who played last night.
Which is what they did 2 years ago for Force Awakens. They did the same thing with Monday Night Football, where they aired the trailer live, and I actually watched that.
Oh yeah,
yeah. And I remember the trailer wasn't as good as the one before with Han and Chewie, and they're like, "We're home."
Yeah, that was a great trailer.
It was.
It's one of the best trailers I've seen.
It got me hyped.
It did. It got me hyped too. But so the Bears and the Vikings were playing last night. Sorry.
Is Alex Ford just like, come on?
Probably. Well, the Vikings won, despite a lot of adversity that they faced.
Yeah.
Sure. But oh, whoops. That was my phone vibrating. But so I just wanted to watch my Monday Night Football, right? And I see throughout the fucking game these announcers who clearly do not give a shit about Star Wars are like, and wait for halftime because there's an exclusive preview of Star Wars The Last Jedi in theaters December. And then they're like, oh boy, I think I see some stormtroopers coming, and oh god, it's just so bad. And like,
did stormtroopers come out onto the field?
Yes.
No way.
Yes.
No.
I shit you not.
Oh god.
They come out on the field with smoke, like they have smoke machines and stuff, and they're carrying their rifles.
Oh,
and
god, no.
This football announcer, who is literally like he's just like, fuck my life right now. This shit is the worst.
Don't tell me.
He's like, well, to my right. Okay. All right. I just have to
I like your announcer voice.
Yeah. He's like, to my right, I have a First Order Stormtrooper, and it's just a fucking standee. It's not a real Stormtrooper. It's like a fucking cutout, or at least like, you know, the ones they put in the theater.
Ew, really? It was like a piece of cardboard?
No, I don't know if it was a piece of cardboard, but nobody was in this thing. Nobody was in this thing.
It was like,
it was a dummy. And he's like, and we're just gonna watch the trailer. Here it is. And so it plays. It plays. They show it play on the main screen of wherever they were. I think they were in Minnesota for the Vikings game. But I'm just trying to imagine everybody there who's just like, fuck this.
Oh shit! Actually, my cousins and my uncle were at that game.
Really?
Yeah, I saw it on Facebook that they went and saw the Bears. So yeah, they must have been there.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, because they're all from Chicago.
You should message them and be like, "Oh, how was the Last Jedi trailer?"
Actually, maybe I don't want to do this now, but I follow my cousin on Snapchat. And maybe there's something to do with stormtroopers? Were there fireworks by any chance?
There probably were, yeah.
I think you might have it on here.
Oh, no way. Let's see. Oh,
is that it?
That might just be the team.
That
might just be the team coming out.
Okay, never mind. He didn't give a fuck about Star Wars. Was there one point where the announcer was like, "Oh no, everyone, look out! It's Darth Vader!" And then a guy in a crappy Darth Vader outfit came out and like it was like a little Disney Disneyland attraction,
like a little
stage
bit.
show.
Yeah. Like they're no, that didn't happen. If that had happened, I would be done with Star Wars for forever.
It's Darth Vader, and then some guy's like, "Oh, we need a new hope," and then some like little blonde kid comes out wearing a Luke outfit, and he starts like beating Darth Vader, and he runs off, and then the audience cheers.
Oh my god, I would have paid good money to see that. No, but it just, I don't know. I was just like, can this not happen right now? This is the dumbest shit. And I don't know. It's a good trailer, but I'm feeling sick of Star Wars.
After seeing that, it kind of just sickened you?
Yeah, I was just like, why couldn't they just maybe drop the trailer? Like, why do you have to make it this gross Monday Night Football event?
I guess so they can have, football's pretty huge. So people are watching football are like, oh, new Star Wars movie? It's just mass appeal.
I suppose you're right, yeah.
I want to see Henry Cavill as Prince Eric in the upcoming live-action remake of The Little Mermaid.
Ugh, gross. Get Henry Cavill and Amy Adams to play that.
Amy Adams is Ariel. A bit of an older Ariel. We're retconning the age from 16 to 50.
Absolutely. Is Amy Adams 50?
No, she's probably like 45.
She's probably 37.
I'm going to guess 45.
I'm going to guess 37.
Where'd your internet go, Snyder?
I don't know. Where did it go? CenturyLink 4868. There you go. There you go. Anyway, we heard some feedback in the mic, so we cut that shit out. But what I was going to say was that I'm sick of Star Wars, and I don't know, it's stupid.
Do you think they, used up their hype and excitement for The Force Awakens all in like one movie?
See, I think
it's back. It's back, everyone.
See, I don't think they did that. I don't think they used it all up. I think they squandered it with Rogue One.
Yeah, that's when I felt the way you did, where I was just like, fuck this pew pew, Bullshit.
Yeah. All of that. Yeah, I don't know. I was just kind of tired of it, and I felt there's definitely like a fatigue for it. I'm not excited anymore, and like
I'm not excited for anything anymore, dude. Life sucks.
nah, it doesn't suck. Life doesn't suck, Colin. It's just kind of a shit show sometimes, and that's fine. I don't know. I'm looking forward to the Force. No, what is this? The Last Awakens. Yeah, the Force Awakens 2. I'm getting excited for it. I'm just not. I'm kind of excited for it.
I'm kind of done talking about Star Wars.
Yeah, me too.
Like, what is there to say? It looks cool. Luke's back. There's gonna be some Snoke action. Some new at walkers that are all beefy.
Yeah.
Kylo Ren's gonna murder Carrie Fisher violently.
Yeah.
And that is that. We are not talking about Star Wars until at least December 15th from here on out.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. What if a brand new trailer comes out that reveals everything?
It's just the movie?
Yeah.
They're like, wow, this 2.5 hour trailer, I think it just gave away the whole movie.
It's literally the whole movie. Could you imagine if that actually happened? If they accidentally were like...
if they leaked it? That'd be insane. Dude, some higher-ups would be pissed off. Kathleen Kennedy would find that person who leaked it and, like...
strangle her.
Freeze them in carbonite, I guess. Disney can probably do that.
Probably. Walt Disney is frozen in carbonite. Yeah. Yeah, it's a real thing. It's actually not.
It's a fact.
It's it's not. When I was editing the Disney, Apple, Amazon conglomerate video, when I was editing that, I looked up like the Disney cryogenic sleep stuff, and everyone's like, yeah, like it's been said that he's frozen, but there's no real reason to believe that he is. And also, he's buried next to his wife.
Walt.
Good old Walt Disney. Walt fucking Disney. Walt fucking Disney.
What a legend.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
What a legendary man.
Yeah, he didn't like Jewish people, but that's fine.
No.
Yeah, that's fine. Lots of people don't like Jewish people.
You know who didn't like Jewish people?
Adolf Hitler?
Yeah.
Oh, was that really who you're going to say?
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what comes to mind.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, dude.
No, you are a bad person if you don't like Jewish people.
Dude, we need to watch this reaction video to Star Wars The Last Jedi.
Oh, by Comic Book Cast 2. I hate his reaction videos. Hate them. He overacts everything. It's very
see a
it's
lot
very
of his videos
too much
recommended.
Yes. You know what we should talk about? We should talk about Screen Junkies. How great they are. I've heard a lot of things about how good they are to the female employees. There a lot of the times, you know, you see all these companies, they really do take advantage of their female employees and stuff like that. But I've heard Screen Junkies has a lot of just a lot of I don't know, courage when it comes to treating their employees very well.
And not like texting them and saying that they're jacking off
to them, and asking
quote
if
unquote
they could...
undies, I believe was what Andy Signor said was undies. Ew.
Yeah, it's pretty gross. That's some gross terminology.
Jacking into your undies.
Yeah, that's like, disgusting.
Oh, hot. Steamy. Alright, so Anthony Signor, the CEO, the mastermind behind Screen Junkies, which is
founder and CEO and
creator of Honest Trailers.
Creator of Honest Trailers and Screen Junkies as a whole.
Judge of movie fights.
Yeah, shitty judge of movie fights, my bad. Terrible movie fighter, the worst one on the show, and he created the damn thing.
He's fat.
He is fat.
He's a fat man.
He is fat.
He got fired from Defy Media, which is some sort of media store that owns Screen Junkies because he kept masturbating in his office. No,
Wait, is that real?
No, probably. He kept saying a bunch of disgusting things to people, women, because I guess Anthony Signor is a quote unquote powerful man in L.A. Because he owns Screen Junkies, a YouTube channel.
Yep.
Given that, Screen Junkies does have 8 million subscribers, 6 million. That's a lot of people.
Yeah, they're very successful.
Yeah.
I won't lie. I'm not going to understate them. They are a successful YouTube channel, but also, no.
Do you think? Well, I guess this is pretty much a fact, but when a person, in this case a man, is in some sort of high power, they abuse it?
Oftentimes.
Yeah.
It seems that way. I mean, just look at us. We own a podcast.
We have the power to...
We have the power to sexually harass any woman that we want, yeah. But you know what? We choose not to. And that's the real power. No, but it is pretty terrible about Andy Signor. Awful. I don't know where to go from here if you're Screen Junkies, because I mean you're kind of fucked in the eye of the public. I know that a lot of the testimonies that have come out on Twitter, that very efficient website that we use for news, oftentimes, but they're all the testimonies, they're very well regarded. All of the women that have come out have gotten the support of pretty much every Screen Junkies member other than Andy Signor, who has not commented on the issue, I don't believe.
No.
Why would you?
Yeah, what would he say?
Yeah, but there's no debate. There's not a question about whether or not these women are just pooling together and are like, let's fuck up someone's day. It's definitely not true. It's he is very guilty of these things, and he deserves to be fired, and he deserves to thoroughly go fuck himself, which apparently he's been doing.
Yeah. To
undies, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, it's pretty fucked up. Fucked up. I don't know. I've said that I don't really know if Screen Junkies is gonna still exist after this, because I think that it could very well go either way.
I'm not sure, Snyder. I keep calling him Anthony.
Because see, Anthony is a shittier name. That is a name that sounds like someone who definitely would jack it to someone's undies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have much to say on this other than that he's gross. He fucked up.
Yeah, you can't do that. You can't fucking do that. There are a couple things you can't do as a CEO. That is one of the things you're definitely not supposed to do. And as the CEO of the Snyder-Collin Podcast, co-CEO, the CCEO, we can't let this happen.
No.
In our industry. YouTube, the industry of YouTube. I don't know, it sucks. Wish the best for the women though, and great courage coming out and saying all these things too. That's really cool.
God, Jesus, imagine his family life right now.
Dude, he's married with a kid.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, that's totes on you though, you fucked up. But yeah, imagine it. It's probably very awkward. He's probably like, so, fuck, I'm home a lot more now. I don't have to host a movie fight tonight. And then his wife's like, hey, so you want to talk about that one thing that we definitely need to be talking about? He's like, I'd rather just watch
Die Hard.
Yeah.
Let's just watch movies.
Yeah. Yeah. Another thing that came out was the whole Harvey Weinstein thing.
Yeah, it seemed like those happened together.
Yeah, it did. Kind of neat how that happens.
Yeah. Guess they were like, oh,
neat.
Oh shit.
Oh, you're opening up the wire drawer?
I thought there was going to be drugs in it.
That's the wire drawer.
I mean, Harvey Weinstein doesn't really come as a shock.
No, he looks like a real piece of shit.
He looks like he chews cigars.
Yeah. He looks like he eats his own shit.
Yeah, so I'm not really surprised that happened. Maybe some allegations are being made. It gives other people courage to speak up.
For sure. While it's in the public eye, you want to go ahead and get it out there. Yeah, 100%. That's totally understandable. But, it sucks that all these shitty-ass dudes are in positions of power, and, it blows. And I don't like that. I don't like that stuff. I don't like that people are assholes. But you know who's not an asshole?
Who?
Mark Hamill.
I'm sure Mark Hamill's done things he's not proud of.
For sure, but that doesn't make him an asshole. Everybody's done things they're not proud of. Anyway, after all that, what are we going to talk about today?
I don't know. I want to get food before we go see this
me
long film.
Have we given our real thoughts on Blade Runner?
The original one?
Yeah.
I like it.
We can just, kind of talk, because, alright, we already talked. We're doing the before and after review, right? Yeah. We've already mentioned that. So, basically, we are, we're excited for this movie.
Apparently it's a masterpiece.
Yeah, we'll be the judge of that. I don't really know. The masses typically don't represent my own feelings. But I'm sure it's going to be a good movie. Denis Villeneuve is an excellent director.
Yes.
Very talented. He's probably the most talented director working right now, I would say.
Most likely making big studio films for sure.
Yeah.
I can't really think of anyone else.
Someone who makes big studio films with an independent feel to them.
Yeah.
I think is what matters. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to this film.
I am too. I just hope it just doesn't drag. Please don't drag.
Yeah.
Because it is a long movie. And a really long runtime kind of, it's kind of like, let's get this over with.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I think that it will drag. That's what I think. I think that it's going to have very long establishing shots.
Yeah, lots of long scenes of people kind of like pondering or looking through things. Because that's kind of what Blade Runner is all about,
Yeah.
When
Blade Runner is such an interesting premise, and it's not that interesting of a movie.
No, I just like the atmosphere. The plot's pretty cool. All the sets and the world that it builds. Harrison Ford is fine in it. Rutger Hauer is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I love the noir.
Yeah,
like the futuristic noir of it. It's really great at painting that atmosphere for sure. I just don't think that it's that good. It's a beautiful film for sure. It's something to look at. That's very beautiful, but if that same movie came out now, but with updated effects, even then,
who knows how it would be received?
Yeah, it's just I think it was very ahead of its time. It is very slow. It is very boring. It's a boring movie. Blade Runner's a boring movie. That's straight up. And no movie that takes 3 to 4 to even 5 for some people views or watches is, in my opinion, really a masterpiece. Is that a masterpiece? Because I think that it's a masterpiece of areas. It's a masterpiece of visual effects. It's a
science fiction.
Yeah, it's a masterpiece of those things. As a character study, Deckard's not a likable character. Maybe that's the point.
Yeah,
it kind of is secretly. But the romance, you don't buy it. I don't buy it anyway. I think the romance is a very weak.
Boy, I hope Sean Young is in this new film.
Yeah.
I don't. Sean Young, whatever happened to her? I think she became an alcoholic or something. Snyder lives out in the country, so we just don't get internet here.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry.
But anyways, I'm somewhere in the middle. I like Blade Runner. It's fine. I'm not part of the majority of people. Not even really majority, but that selection of people who thinks it's one of the greatest of all time. I think it's a cool film.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And now that we're seeing it a little late, we're able to say that the box office numbers are as you predicted.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're not good. It's not doing well. Which, Neither did the original Blade Runner.
No one knows what Blade Runner is, and the demographic after the box office came out was like, yeah, it's like a male audience over like 35. That was like the majority of people who are seeing it. So basically, the people who are seeing it are like people who've seen Blade Runner.
Yeah. And, like, not that many people have seen Blade Runner.
No, not
really.
really.
A lot of people know what Blade Runner is.
Over time, but it wasn't this big hit when it came out. It was a flop.
Yeah, a lot of people know what Blade Runner is.
What a flop!
Yeah, they don't know what it's about, though. And, you know, that's fine. That's cool. That's alright. It took me a while to watch it, too. But, like, you know, my dad's seen Blade Runner, and he likes it. He's like, it's good. But, like, I think that the majority of people who have seen Blade Runner don't really think it's this amazing masterpiece that it's supposed to be. Because it's really, I don't know.
I'm actually expecting this new one to be better.
Me too.
Honestly.
Me too.
From just the reaction and just kind of like, Blade Runner can be improved as far as pacing and excitement. Not like it needs to be Spielberg-y. Not that, but just more like visceral, I guess.
Yeah.
A little more thrilling, intense.
Yeah, in interviews that I've seen, it seems that the director actually kind of understands how to approach a film like this.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know, approaching a film
long
like
establishing shots.
Yeah.
What if there isn't one in the whole movie? It's like, wow, no B-roll.
I was never bored.
There's no B-roll in this movie.
Oh, no,
I didn't know
there will be B-roll in this film. There will be so much of it. It's a Blade Runner movie.
Imagine if there wasn't any B-roll and you just have no clue where you are in the whole movie. A 2.5-hour movie with no establishing shots.
Oh my god. I'm so on board. But yeah, I think that... How to phrase this? Denis Villeneuve is a better director than Ridley Scott was at the time that he made Blade Runner.
Ridley Scott makes really, really good-looking movies that usually are pretty decent.
Yeah, I would say so.
Because, I mean, even then, like, Gladiator won Best Picture. He didn't win Best Director.
True, but is Gladiator really that good?
No.
Yeah,
it's a really good-looking movie.
Yeah.
It was big at the time. I was never crazy. The fighting scenes are pretty cool.
They are.
That's it. Russell Crowe is fine in it. I thought he was better in A Beautiful Mind, which came out the year afterwards and probably should have won an Oscar for that role instead of Gladiator.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think Gladiator's that great, but whatever. No. It's, you know what, film is subjective. It's beautiful too.
I mean, I've liked all of Denis' films. I've seen basically all of them except for Incendies and Sicario.
Yeah. Have you seen Enemy? You've seen Enemy.
Yeah, I saw Enemy.
I've seen it recently.
I'm trying to think of all of the films I've seen from him. Prisoners, Arrival.
And you haven't seen
Enemy?
Sicario?
No.
Sicario's pretty good.
Out of the 3, I guess, because he has, 6 movies, I guess? Sicario, Blade Runner, and Incendies, his, debut foreign film.
I'm not terribly familiar with all of his filmography, excuse me, and his discography. He might be a DJ on the side.
My favorite that he's done is Prisoners.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I've only seen that movie once, but it stuck with me. I remember a good bit of that movie, and took twists and turns. It was a brutal movie.
Yeah, it is a movie that you watch on a really bad day to know that
watch
some
it on
people have it worse.
A cold winter night movie. I thought Jake Gyllenhaal and Hugh Jackman were just... I thought they were fantastic in those roles.
I would agree.
I liked Enemy. Thought it was cool.
Yeah. It's certainly a strange movie.
Yeah, I liked all the spider imagery.
Does that really even count as imagery? Because it's so on the nose. And it's not meant to... the spider...
It's unique.
The spiders are almost a character in themselves.
Whoa, they represent women. No, but it's just cool seeing that spider, kind of walking through a city. That shot's really cool.
Was it Toronto?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's Toronto in that film.
The ending kind of made me jump a little bit too.
Oh,
the first time you see it, yeah, because it comes out of... Well, it adds up because of the spider, so it doesn't completely come out of nowhere. But first time I saw it, I kind of perked up a little bit. I was like, whoa. And I think it was the sound design of the spider kind of shuffling that was kind of unsettling.
Yeah, and kind of a light little shriek of it.
Yeah.
it kind of like, it doesn't like make
It's a creepy
huge noise.
ending.
It's a very terrifying ending. That's a horrifying ending for sure.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, when hearing him talk about what the film means, he's like, it's delving into Jake Gyllenhaal's mind.
Yeah.
This is like the mind of Jake Gyllenhaal. I'm just kind of like, does Jake Gyllenhaal approve of this comment? Because this does not paint him as a good guy.
Well, I guess of his character.
Yeah.
Not Jake. I mean, I don't know. No, because Enemy is based on a book.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
interesting.
if you want to fact check that, I want to say it may be based on a novel. I also love the weird concepts in Enemy of just being like the movie just kind of starts off with he's like, whoa, this guy in this movie looks like me.
Yeah.
It's
that
like
is really weird.
It's an interesting little concept for a mystery.
It's a good movie. And it's the same person the whole time, right?
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah, see, it is based on a book, The Double.
Oh, okay.
Oh man, I'm glad I was right. Because
Yeah,
when you're looking
impressive.
when you were looking it up, I was like, maybe it's not. Lots of stuff is based on novels, like Blade Runner. You knew that, right?
Yeah, I knew that Blade Runner.
It's
Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep?
yeah. All of
Yeah.
Philip K. Dick's titles are kind of like that. Like the movie Total Recall, his short story or novella is called "We Remember It For You Wholesale."
Yeah, that's such a weird title.
It's funny
It's
because
so
it
good.
does like build into the movie. Well, a lot of his movie adaptations are pretty different.
Yeah,
Do androids dream of electric sheep? That's the type of stuff he thought of. Never read any Philip K. Dick.
I always thought that Electric Sheep would be a good title for like just be a fucking weird title. It'd be like 12 Monkeys.
Electric Sheep.
Yeah, or like just they adapt that film, they adapt that book into film super accurately, and just name it "Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep"?
Why not?
Could
Why
you?
not?
That'd be so weird and cool. And I think Blade Runner's different enough, because like I've had this argument with someone. Replicants are not androids. They are genetically identical.
Yeah,
humans.
they're not like the Terminators, where it's like underneath their like a robot.
Yeah.
Robot skeleton. I guess they are like they bleed and everything.
Yeah,
They're replicas.
Yeah, they're replicating humans.
Yeah.
And they have lifespans. It's just they weren't born. They were like cloned, kind of.
Yeah.
They were born. They were born in a lab. They weren't actually like born. And I don't know. Yeah. Can I make a prediction about Blade Runner 2049?
Yeah.
It might be a spoiler. I just have this feeling about a certain character in the film.
Jared Leto.
No.
Oh.
No. I just
What,
have
Ryan Gosling's gonna be a replicant, or he's
Yeah.
gonna be like some sort of newer like supermodel or something.
Yeah.
Supermodel replicant.
Yeah, I could even say he would just be an original replicant. Because, like,
What if he's like
they're all smart. He just has a long lifespan.
What if
That's
he's
it.
the last human? Or what if there
And
are?
then that
what
would
if
make
there's just
Deckard the
no?
replicant.
There's just no humans. Everyone's a replicant.
Do you think it's going to answer the Deckard as a replicant question?
Yes.
I don't think it's going to answer the Deckard as a replicant question. I don't think it will. Because, like, why would you?
Denise.
There's no
just, like,
correct answer to
mystery.
that. No, because I don't think there is a correct way to go about answering that question. I think that...
Unless Harrison Ford rips off the skin on his face and reveals like a Terminator, and he's like,
Oh my God.
I'm a robot."
I'm a Nexus 2.
Yeah. I'm Tyrell's creation.
Oh my God. He is Tyrell.
All right. So, any final predictions? I'm looking forward to Blade Runner. Just please don't drag. Please, for the love of fuck, don't drag.
I will be getting a drink.
Yeah, same.
And I will be pissing beforehand also. But yeah, I think it's going to be good. I'm looking forward to it. Very much. Very much. Am I looking forward to
Very, very much so.
Very much. Very cool. Very cool. But yeah, it's gonna be great. You want to drag this thing out for 8 more minutes, or do you want to just go, hey, we'll be back?
Let's just cut it here, I guess.
Yeah.
I got nothing else to say.
Yeah, fair enough. Let's hope it's good, guys. We will be back.
Got blood rush to my head, they hot like popping off the fucking block. Now clocking wristlet, watch been top off.
All right. Hello.
We're back from the year 2049.
Oh, shit. Reference.
Yep. You know what that means. We're here to talk about Blade Runner 2049, directed by Denis Villeneuve.
Yeah,
That's how I pronounce his last name.
I think that's the least.
Villeneuve.
I think that's the least offensive way to spell or pronounce his name. You know?
Then like Denis Villeneuve.
Yeah. Yeah, that's...
Denis Villeneuve. Denis Villeneuve. You know, what would you even like describe this movie? Like Blade Runner 2049 is about, because even like going in, I didn't really know. I was like, oh, you know, Ryan Gosling's a Blade Runner. He finds Harrison Ford, and he's like, I have questions.
Yeah. Just wow. Like this movie really was something. Like I told you, I would need the ride home to kind of like think about things and like think things through a little bit on it. But damn, like, just so much happened. This movie is about what it means to be human. Really, not really. I mean, you know, it kind of is. Let's just give our thoughts.
Yeah.
Let's give our review on the movie.
Okay.
Non-spoiler first, because it's still relatively new. So, like, anybody who wants to see it still has a chance to go see it. You're fine.
Sure.
I thought that... Oh, fuck. I grabbed my phone. I thought that the movie, on a whole, I felt like it was a very good movie. It is a better movie than Blade Runner, I think. Because, like you said, it's very long, but I wasn't bored during it. And Blade Runner's a boring fucking movie. Get triggered.
All those middle-aged men out there are getting really angry.
Yeah, they're really upset. And that's fine, you know? Fucking get upset, you pussies. But... Sorry.
You fucking nerds.
Yeah, you fucking ass clowns. I don't know. It was, performances all around were great. No one was bad in this movie at all. I didn't know... There were no actors that I thought did a shit job. The score really is something that stands out to me. It's very good. It's very overwhelming.
Yeah, it sounded very nice in the surround sound. So
absolutely glad we saw this in Dolby Cinema. We actually had a chance to.
That's a good story.
Yeah, we actually had a chance to not see this in Dolby. We
we thought we were just going to like a standard screening show.
Yeah, because that's our favorite way to watch films. It's not like in really like any. It's definitely not in 3D. IMAX is kind of overwhelming sometimes.
I haven't seen a film in IMAX since Interstellar.
Oh, fair enough.
Which I guess
like
was a
AMC
good choice.
IMAX?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, the actual like IMAX center?
Yeah, like the Challenger Center.
Oh god, I haven't been there.
It's been so long for me.
I haven't been there probably like 10 years.
Yeah,
since I was in middle school.
You know, now that I come to think of it, I think the last film that I saw on the Challenger screen was Interstellar.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
That's an interesting experience we share. So, I'm touching his hand right now.
It's so warm.
It is.
Are their screens bigger?
I think the Challenger screen's a little bigger, yeah.
Okay, I could see that.
Yeah. It's just, you know, because the one at AMC, they had a room that they were working with, so they put an IMAX screen in it. The one at Challenger, they were like, let's build an IMAX screen. But I don't know, you know, it's all the same, really.
So the plan was just to see Blade Runner just in a regular theater. But we go up there to buy the tickets, and the girl at the front desk was like, this screening is actually for people with, like, sensory sensitivity.
Yeah, like, basically people who, you know, like, have a disability of some kind, and they need suppose like they need like some lights dimmed instead of completely dark like a regular movie theater. They need the surround sound, I guess, kind of cut off a little bit.
Yeah, they said the volume kind of lower.
Yeah, so
Really?
probably would be. We could go. We were allowed to go.
Yeah,
absolutely.
we were.
But we chose between that and I guess like the Dolby Digital Surround Sound Theater or whatever. Like I don't know, and that's a little bit more expensive. So we went ahead and paid for the Dolby. Glad we did that.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I don't know, just seeing it in the sensory sensitivity one, it's like we're not really benefiting from it, so let's just not see it.
Even then, though, I think that like if we had the choice between the standard def and the Dolby, we would have chose standard. But I think we made the right. I think that we lucked out in having to choose the Dolby because I think that it did add something to this.
It's like a sign from God.
Yeah, basically.
Well, wait, like, I've never even heard of this sensory sensitivity ever before.
I think that if you have, like, a party or a
request
group of people, yeah, you can request it, and then they'll do it. Because, like, on all the tickets that you order online, they always warn, like, it says, like, closed caption, like, for, like, the whatever, you know, and 9 out of 9 times, they're not. Like, they're not closed captioned at all or anything like that. But, I guess you could. That's providing the option to do it. You can request that, and I guess that's just a forewarning. Like this, there is a chance that this could be a sensory sensitive. I suppose it's just like viewer sensitive screening of the film. So, yeah, but we didn't do that. Thankfully, no offense to anybody who would need to watch that. That's completely up to you, but. You know, I would kind of understand after seeing the movie because the score does swell quite a bit at times, and it's meant to overwhelm you. It's meant to like, I feel like it's meant to provide like that almost like sickening, like you described it sort of like as like there's like a dreadful feeling. Yeah, and I feel like that is provided from the score,
especially at the very beginning of the movie when you're first seeing Los Angeles, and there's just like this like pounding like drum. Yeah, it was kind of like industrial. It reminded me of music from like Silent Hill, just like a pounding drum and like thuds and like
mixed with like the really loud swells of the synths. Yeah, it was just very like it really puts you in the world. Yeah, quite a bit. It does a good job.
And the way you know, it really was a dark masterpiece.
Oh, was it
the darkest film of the year?
No, yeah, I would say so. It was very dark in the way that like the original Blade Runner. There are fans of it that want to say that it challenges what it means to be human, and I think the original Blade Runner is a really watered down cop movie that like wants to be more than it is because like that's kind of what Ridley Scott does. Ridley Scott comes up with great ideas. He's like a George Lucas type. And he just doesn't really know how to execute them. This was a Ridley Scott idea executed by a fucking phenomenal director.
Yeah. Maybe that's the way you do it.
Maybe. You know? Because it was, I mean, like...
Imagine if Denis Villeneuve made Prometheus.
Jesus Christ. It probably would have been so fucking good.
Yeah, because he wouldn't have had the Damon Lindelof script or something. Yeah. Who knows? You know what? It's shocking. This movie was made by Sony.
That is shocking. Did you notice that little bit of Sony product placement too?
Yeah.
I felt like that was fine. I wasn't taken out of the movie with that. I was like, that's completely in the world.
Yeah, same. Like on the billboards. Yeah, because they already live in this shitty place full of product placement. Of course, Sony would be plastered all over it.
Yeah, I like
it's kind of like it's almost like a jab at them in a way.
It kind of is because like the product placement in this movie isn't used as most product placements are, where like it's promoting the product. It's to highlight that this world is completely reliant on it's completely reliant on companies who just take advantage of you,
like Coca-Cola and
Coca-Cola,
which is kind of funny.
It really is like an alternate universe. Like it doesn't even try to like convince you that this is the future anymore. Like because I think the original takes place in like 2019 Los Angeles.
Yeah, something like that. Maybe even 2017.
I think it's 2019.
Yeah, it's around now.
Yeah, and it's pretty. That's not really realistic at all. But like, you know, it just kind of takes like, yeah, that world existed. This is 29 years later. Cool. Or maybe 30 years later.
30.
Is it? Yeah, because it's 19.
Oh, yeah, then you're right. It is 2019.
Yeah, 2019, 30 years late. Yeah, yeah. I was right about one thing and then wrong about the 29 years. I was thinking of
So it's okay.
49. Yeah,
It's okay,
no.
buddy.
Yeah, it's great. So, with that being said, the only issue that I really had with this movie was, well, I have a couple issues with it. One, there's a little bit too many flashbacks in the film. I think that it's, I get that, like, they need to explain to the audience what's going on, but there's one scene in particular, and we'll get into spoilers in a bit, but there's one scene in particular that I was like, I could have done without that line of dialogue, because that was just a little bit too much, and, whatever, though. I could, it's fine. It was still good, and I liked it a lot. I don't think it's a great film. I think it's a really good film, and it's the best film I've seen this year, by far.
I'd say this is the best movie I've seen so far this year, too.
Yeah.
Just really well executed. A long movie with a leisurely pace. It doesn't really keep you. It doesn't bore you. I mean, it'll probably bore some people.
And you said there was a moment in the film when it felt like it was dragging a bit to you, like, or you felt the length of the film.
Yeah, that was later in the movie.
Yeah.
When the trailer stuff happens.
Yeah.
It's not really a spoiler.
It definitely wasn't about what I thought it would be about, though. That's for sure cool. Like, the trailers pointed in this direction that it would be kind of this sort of, like,
this new Blade Runner.
Yeah, and it certainly
new
wasn't.
Guy hunting replicants.
Yeah, for sure wasn't. But is there anything you want to say, spoiler free, after this?
All the acting was good. I thought the art direction, like as far as sets and everything, was fantastic.
Yeah, I would say
the
so
sets
too.
in this movie.
Yeah,
were great. Lots of practical looking things
for
you
sure.
can touch and feel. I mean, yeah, the whole movie was just great. Built
felt
the
like
world up. I like the sense of dread. Like, this is like a terrible world
to
live in.
Exactly. I felt that too. Like, you just you feel like almost sick looking at all this technology and like these really loud and like disgustingly like just industrial cars that they like, these hover cars, and they're flying shit.
All the ads everywhere, and like it just feels like this world where like free will and humanity has been completely abandoned. Because I like to think that like they say people are off world doing slave labor. I like to think that maybe kind of like that movie Elysium, maybe like one of those planets is where like people actually like live.
Yeah, but
and have like good lives, or
Yeah.
maybe somewhere else on the planet. It never shows you the off-world colonies, which I suppose is a wide decision because it wants to keep you in just that part of the world.
Yeah, I would agree. I would almost think that like, since the outer or like the planets off world are supposed to be like these, this slave labor place, but then you go to the place that's not slave labor and they're still living without free will.
Yeah.
So like, really, like, who are the slaves? Like, what's going on? Like, is there a paradise place? We don't know. They don't speak of one. This is just kind of life, and like something happened. Okay, well, that's kind of spoilers. I won't talk about that. But like something happened to make all these people live in Los Angeles, and like that's never even touched on. Like, we don't ever really get hints, or we get hints of it, but it's not referenced. It's not a point of talk. It's just these movies are about characters living in this shitty world.
Yeah.
And like, they don't explain why the world's shitty. The story's not about saving the shitty world.
No.
It's just about people who live in it.
This is just what it's like.
Yep.
Just you live in your little apartment. Everyone's a weirdo.
Yeah, it's just like
everyone's a weirdo. Yeah, that's the best way to put it.
Yeah, it's about like these people's struggles, and these struggles exist within the context of a really shitty existence.
It's like a world with no hope, but Wallace is kind of, I guess he's blind to it, like technically and like literally.
Yeah.
He's literally blind to it all, and
That is an interesting choice.
I guess that's going more into spoilers.
He's painted as blind in the trailers. That's fine.
Yeah, he is, and I
Yeah.
guess he is seen as like the creator of these superior replicant models, because in the original Blade Runner, the whole reason they were illegal is because they're they're rioting and turning against them because they actually had free will.
Yeah, and
they started, I guess, attacking, being violent.
Yeah, and you can see in one of the shorts that were created prior to this film by a different director that these new models are supposed to be like superior because they obey no matter what.
Yeah, exactly.
And like, it's not that they don't feel; they do feel pain, and like they are pretty much humans.
I guess they're aware of emotions, but they just don't have any real reason to like feel them. We can discuss that more when we go in depth.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
Yeah,
so like,
if you want to stop listening,
go ahead.
Blade Runner 2049, go see it in theaters.
Yeah, really, honestly, like see it in Dolby if you can.
Yeah,
because it's pretty cool. Like, I feel like the speakers are really great in that cinema. But
yeah, it added to the experience.
Yeah, but I guess our official review would be that we really liked it, and like it's for sure worth a look. And like, I think it's a great follow up to a film that a lot of people think is just the greatest thing ever. And I think it's
still a classic.
Yeah, for sure, it's a classic. But I think this is a superior movie. I think it does it better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
although like Blade Runner's kind of noir and this was less noir, but
yeah,
you know,
this
whatever.
was more dystopian.
Yeah.
Not like knocking the original, but yeah, I think this movie was better.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah. And like, that's so fucking refreshing.
Doesn't need multiple cuts.
It doesn't.
20 years for director satisfaction.
Yeah. I would be interested to see a cut without all the flashbacks though, or like the inner voices,
like a fan edit.
Yeah,
so you could probably do that.
You probably could. That would be an interesting cut because I would want to see like how cryptic it feels, because I'm sure they cut it for a reason, but like I just want to know how cryptic that shit looks. Anyway, on to spoilers. If you haven't seen the movie, or if you haven't seen the movie, you can go ahead and click off. If you have seen the movie, or if you just don't give a shit at all about spoilers,
then
you can
welcome.
Go ahead and you can go ahead and just stay on. And
welcome to the dark side.
But yeah, here you are on the spoiler side of things. So here we are.
3, 2, 1. Ryan Gosling is a replicant.
He is. I was right. I was right about my prediction.
You were right.
I was wrong in thinking that it was going to be a big reveal, because it's revealed pretty much immediately.
Very wisely too.
Yeah, it's done in a very classy way, and like he's just kind of like seen in this world as like, you know, like he walks to his house after he takes down Dave Bautista, and like on his door
is an old school replicant, Dave Bautista.
Yep, and like on his door is like Skin Job or like Skinner or something like that.
Fuck
like,
off, Skinner.
Yeah, like clearly a slur directed at him for being a replicant. It was very classy and tastefully done, and I like that.
How did you feel about Dave Bautista not being Drax?
He did a great job.
Yeah,
I thought he was fine.
Did a fine little job.
Yeah.
I mean, first you realize that K, which I guess is his name, is a replicant because he's getting pounded against a wall.
And he really is getting pounded.
Yeah, like pounded, like, you know,
it would have
snapped
someone's neck. Yeah.
And replicants are usually pretty strong people. I liked how Dave Bautista's character is like this farmer, and you don't really know what the fuck he's doing. He's like harvesting like larvas for protein or something.
Yeah, he's like, I'm a protein farmer.
Yeah.
And that's all you really know. It's pretty cool.
He has like a bunch of like larvae, which I guess are like a delicacy, essentially.
Yeah, I would guess so.
That's what I'm taking from it.
Yeah, I would say that's a safe bet.
It's like sifting through like milky water and like holding a bunch of larvae.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
Yeah,
it was gross.
Strange.
But cool. Yeah. Gosh. And then after that, we travel into his house and we see his AI Joy, played by she has a very Spanish name.
Look her up.
Yeah, I will.
I liked
But
the Joy character.
Me too. Honestly, she's so beautiful.
Oh,
That
absolutely.
actress was absolutely drop dead gorgeous. I just want to say.
It was just cool seeing the way it worked. Well, before even that scene, just the scene of him entering Los Angeles was fantastic. You know, felt like you're on a ride. The music and everything. I talked about it a little bit before, non-spoilers, but basically, like, Los Angeles, just this like massive like concrete block. You know, you don't even really know what you're looking at first, but then you kind of just see these like narrow passageways that are like the streets, and you see the lights, and it's just like, good God. That scene was fantastic.
Yeah,
Good way to bring you back.
It really was. Like, it just, like I said, like, just the
One of the best scenes, and well put, because it's at the beginning. Gets you in the mood.
Yeah.
So he has this AI Joy for no real reason except just to have like a companion or something, or a wife.
Yeah.
You know.
I guess so. So okay. Ana de Armas.
What else has she been in?
She's been in Knock Knock with Keanu Reeves.
Huh.
War Dogs.
Okay.
Hands of Stone.
Right.
Exposed.
Ooh. Did she expose herself?
I don't know. Oh, boy.
That's something Andy Signor would say.
I
should be ashamed of myself.
Jesus
I'm sorry,
Christ.
everyone.
She was in Overdrive with
Overdrive.
Looks
Is that
like
a Nicolas
Scott Eastwood.
Cage? Is that a Nicolas Cage film?
It's
Overdrive, coming straight to on demand.
I see. I think Scott Eastwood there. And then those are really the only relevant ones that she's been in. She's not been in it too much. Did a great job.
Yeah.
She plays an AI character that is basically like, she's programmed to love you and like be your girlfriend, and like she's a hologram, and it's just like, it just kind of, it paints Ryan Gosling as this super lonely character who just like, I don't know, it just kind of added like a level of sympathy for him, for me.
It's like when he gets back to his apartment, he like pours himself a drink, he has a cigarette, he's just trying to relax.
Yeah.
In a world where that's really not a thing, I guess. Do you think Kay is almost kind of lucky to be a Blade Runner?
He kind of is.
If you think about it, because I guess it's shown as like something important to that society.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not like one of the weirdos out on the streets or anything.
Yeah.
But I guess it's kind of ironic that he's a replicant then, a superior replicant. I don't think we talked about that. Did we? Have we brought that up?
That he was a superior replicant, or like...
Yeah, there's legal replicants, the ones who obey.
Yeah. But like, was he really one of the ones that obeyed? Because he didn't really obey.
Not in the end, because of everything he learned.
Yeah.
Because he learned so much about
everything.
Really. Yeah. I guess what it means to be a human.
Yeah,
a real human being. Is that why Ryan Gosling took this role? Because it kind of answers the question from the song from Drive. Real human. Probably not. They probably offered it to him.
Probably.
Yeah. Ryan Gosling doesn't seem like the type of guy who gets like nervous. He's like, oh, I got to audition for this role. Maybe now and then. You know, some A-listers are like, hey, we want you.
Yeah. I do think he was perfect.
Yeah, he was good. He was stoic, but the role called for it.
He was. He was meant to be stoic.
The role and the world.
Yeah.
He's very unrelenting, but he's not like boring in it, because he does speak, you know.
Yeah.
He's not like silent the whole time, or he's very stone-faced. I guess that's kind of what he's known for these days.
I suppose so. He is kind of stone-faced. I don't know, but like
in Drive.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he's good in it. I like Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, he's great. I just like that the AI character Joy, like, sort of, I don't know why, but I just feel weird about that. Like,
it's a good addition to the movie.
It is. It adds like this certain layer of like...
It adds like this artificial like warmth, because she's not even fucking real.
Yeah, and
she's just a computer program, but she feels more real than anything in the whole movie.
Yeah, and like she's letting Ryan Gosling, someone who's not even viewed as real, she's letting him feel
Yeah.
warmth and like love and something that he needs, and like it's just like it's I loved that. Like I really did love that. That was great. That was good stuff. What else?
I thought it was cool when the Blade Runners have to do like that check-in to make sure everything's intact. He's sitting in a room and he's like, cell.
Yeah,
What does he
that
say?
was freaky.
Connect
Like
or something?
interconnected or
Yeah.
like interlocked or
Yeah, that was interesting.
That was interesting, and I don't know what it means. Like I don't know what all that even, because he's like saying phrases whenever he needs to. I guess it's to make sure that the replicant is like in order.
Yeah, that they're not like haywired.
Yeah,
Which they later discover once he has the realization about his implanted memories being real.
yeah, and we'll go ahead and talk about that. So like it is revealed that Ryan Gosling has this memory of him, I guess, running from some kids.
Yeah.
And he hides a horse figurine with a date on the bottom of it.
6/10/21.
Yep. And so he hides that, and he's like, yeah, it's an implanted memory, none of it's real. And then yada 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 go on later on. He visits a place. He visits
Unintentionally.
Yeah, the place where Dave Bautista is farming proteins. Okay, before that, god damn, this movie's fucking complex.
Basically,
dude.
this whole movie starts with him finding a flower.
Yeah. So
That's what starts the whole thing off. It sounds pretentious, but it works.
basically, and like the movie starts off with Ryan Gosling discovering that a baby might have come from a replicant. Like
Yes.
these replicants may have procreated and made
Yes.
a kid.
But it's being covered up.
Yeah, and their police chief is like, you need to find this fucking thing and kill it, because like Jesus Christ, like we can't let that come out, because I guess
Because no one knows. Apparently, that's not a thing in this world.
yeah, they're not supposed to do that.
Yeah.
And like if replicants are found out that they're able to procreate, it would cause a lot of complications in society. I guess they would be like, oh my god, like what's the difference between humans and replicants? And the thing is, we the audience know that there is no difference between humans and replicants.
No.
But in the context of this universe, people are so fucking bigoted and like just they're ignorant as shit, and like they have this inferiority complex, I guess is what you could call it, viewing everybody else as inferior, not
Yeah.
themselves superior. Is that a superiority
I-
complex or an inferiority inferiority complex?
I guess it's just like
I think they call it inferiority complex. That seems like so many fucking syllables, though.
it does. They just don't like them. It's as simple as that
Yeah.
because they're better in
Yeah.
a sense.
If Miss Barr is listening to this podcast, she'll probably email me immediately.
Help
be like,
us.
it's inferiority complex. That just seems like so many fucking syllables. Jesus Christ.
Unlike Wallace, who has a god complex.
Yeah, he really does. He really does. And that's an interesting point of view. God damn it. There's so many fucking themes
I
in
know.
this film.
There's a lot of little things to talk about with
There really
each
are.
individual character.
There really are.
I can't think of the last time I saw Robin Wright in a movie.
Yeah.
It was interesting that they got her for the role.
It is.
She did a solid job.
She did.
She had nice slicked back hair.
Yeah.
It was very slick.
It really is very slick.
Let's talk.
She was a stone cold bitch.
Yeah, she was.
that. I like that scene where she offers Ryan Gosling sex, like low key.
What scene?
The scene where she's like, "What'll happen if I finish this?"
I thought she was talking about her drink.
Yeah, like the bottle.
Yeah.
She was like, "What would happen if I finish this?" She was basically being
alright,
like, "If I
see.
finish this, I'll bang you."
Oh.
And then like that's why Joy later on is like, "Well, I saw the captain come on to you. Or you're not a fond of the captain?" And he's like,
I
he's
guess
like, "Oh, I guess you're always listening."
I guess I must have missed that. I remember when she said, "What would happen when I finished this?" One thing that I picked up is when they're scanning the bones that they find in this box underneath a tree where a flower has blossomed. This is one thing I noticed is that they're scanning through the bones and they're like, oh, yada, yada, yada. Oh, according to the DNA, whatever, she must have died during childbirth. And Ryan Gosling goes, what's that? But really, he's referring to like something on the monitor.
Yeah.
But when I heard it, I thought he didn't know like what's being born. What is that? I felt smart because the guy goes, "She died during childbirth," and then Ryan Gosling goes, "What's that?"
That is interesting.
Yeah,
That was probably on purpose.
yeah. I like to think that it was.
Yeah. Also, was the flower blossoming, or did Dave Bautista put it there to signify a grave, or like to just honor her?
I guess you can take it either way. I like to think that it blossomed.
Fair enough. I like that too.
Like it's it's easy symbolism
Yeah.
because there's like the body buried underneath. It's next to a dead tree. It's just some symbolism.
Fair enough. It just didn't look connected to the ground at all, and it looked kind of wilted a little bit, like it had been
No.
there a couple days. But I don't know.
It
Maybe you're right.
It could have been there as a grave. I mean,
Yeah.
didn't he like pluck it out or something? Or
He
was
might
it-
have.
Or was it
yeah.
just
I don't
lying
know.
there?
I don't know. I felt
A
like
little-
it might have been a Dave Bautista move to just like put it there and like like since he's like
A
just
farmer.
off chance he was like, here you go. There's you. Well, spoiler alert, it's Rachel.
Yeah, it is
dead there.
Rachel.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And it would make sense that she's off the books too, being that Rachel isn't really on the books in the first place. She doesn't know she's a replicant. Didn't. I think she found that out. She found that out later, right?
Yeah, she finds out later
Yeah,
in the first movie.
Yeah.
Because Harrison Ford tells her, and he's like, "You're not real, bitch."
Then he bangs her,
Yeah.
and they fucking have a kid. Crazy.
that
shit.
that they abandon and no one in society can know about.
Yeah, apparently not, because like I guess that they didn't think anybody in society could know about it, but like other people who have found out about it are like, maybe society should know about this because it could kind of change some things for us as a whole.
Big topics.
It really is there are a lot of big topics, and I think at the end of the day, the movie doesn't go, let's save the replicant human alliance thing. The movie just kind of ends on the note of like, Harrison Ford gets to meet his daughter.
Yeah.
And like, that's probably all that happens. Like,
Wait, had he not met her before? Ever?
maybe I don't even think he was there for the birth. I think it's the first time ever seeing his daughter.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
God damn, there really is a lot, because you can be like, oh, let's talk about Jared Leto, and then it's like, oh, we're just talking about the very end of the movie.
Yeah.
This movie reminded me a lot of Children of Men, about this, like, miracle birth and this dystopian society with, like, no hope. The character's journey, especially at the end of the movie, spoiler alert, Ryan Gosling dies.
Yeah, and the whole, like, this isn't really in
Spoiler alert. What does it even do when someone just says, spoiler alert? Are they supposed to, like, cover their ears?
Yeah.
Oh,
Are you
my
I'll
ears.
just shut off my listening.
I'll just go do something else now.
Yeah.
I'll spend my time doing something, not listening to this review.
Honestly. But I like that the movie leads you to believe that Ryan Gosling is uncovering the truth about himself, and that like he is this replicant that was born from Deckard, and like Deckard and Rachel having a kid. Not really that you don't find out that it's Deckard and Rachel for a bit till last act of the movie. But
Yeah.
you're led to believe that it's Ryan Gosling, and then you find out that like it's not Ryan Gosling, and that Ryan Gosling really is a replicant that was implanted with memories. But it
Yeah.
just so happens that the memory that he was implanted with was a real one. And like, so it kind of makes this whole thing, like the fact that he's involved in this, it's all just a giant chance. And it's not like it was a part of a plan. So like, it's not like it's not a Deus Ex Machina situation where like, oh, like how coincidental that it all worked out. It didn't really all work out. None of this was up to plan. The plan was not for anybody to ever find out.
I could see some people watching it and just being like, "Oh, that's the biggest fucking coincidence I've ever seen in my entire life."
Yeah, but at the same time, like it's a movie, and like there has to be a story. But like, Deckard never meant to meet his kid.
No.
Never. Like it was never intended to do that. Everything was meant to be swept under the rug. Ryan Gosling, being a replicant and being a sentient being, he was curious, and so he just looked at something.
That's one thing I liked. I liked how he was just following this kind of intuition, you know?
Yeah,
Like from inside his replicant soulless body.
Yeah, soulless, even though we
Yeah.
know he has a soul.
Yeah.
And like he knows it too. But he's led to believe that he doesn't. And then I liked. This is something that I really loved. He's finding out that he was born. Or he's under the impression that he was born. So he becomes more human because he believes he is.
Yeah, that scene where he finds the wooden horse and it's kind of
Yeah.
like scrambling his brains and everything because he's like thinking,
Yeah.
about maybe I'm not just this like thing.
Yeah, he's like, oh my god, like, fuck, I was born. Like, I was a kid. Like, I am real. Like, I'm not what everybody says I am. Like, I have my own thoughts and I have my own shit. And then he even goes back into the police station and they try to calibrate him and he's off balance.
Yeah,
Because he's basically not a replicant anymore.
yeah,
I love that. Like, that's crazy cool. How the writers of this movie know that they know the world that they live in, and they know that each character in this film lives in the world that they live in. And the world that they live in has led them to believe that replicants aren't fucking real. Even replicants think they aren't real, but like they also experience all the human emotions that humans do.
but they kind of suppress it.
Yeah, and they are humans. They're just biogenetically like created humans. They're not born. They're just kind of like started up, but they're the exact same. It's an interesting premise. It's just so fucking interesting. God
Yeah.
damn it. I loved it.
It is a lot to think about. I'm not the best at putting intellectual thoughts into words.
I feel you.
It's it's a lot to think about and process.
It is. Did you notice that? Okay, Gaff is in this movie from the original. I
Yeah.
told you that.
Yeah,
He's probably the original actor. I don't know, but
it may have been.
the
would assume so.
little Easter egg here. The origami
It's a sheep.
is a sheep.
To
Yes.
Android's dream of electric sheep.
Yep. That's the reference.
Is that the whole like thing about Blade Runner? Is that the whole like if you sum up like the philosophy of it, do androids dream of electric sheep? And does that kind of sum up all the themes about AI and what it means to be human? Like do robots dream about robots? Do they dream about being human? Do they dream at all?
Well, see, okay, they're not androids in Blade Runner.
Oh yeah, that's right.
They're
They're
replicants.
artificial intelligence regardless.
Yeah, but they have no robotic parts. Even though in the final cut of Blade Runner, they have red eyes.
Yeah, they
sometimes.
do. Yeah, they didn't do that in this one, where sometimes their eyeballs reflect, which I guess that would have just been the old replicants. That way they could tell them apart.
Yeah,
if their eyes reflect.
yeah, but like the old Blade Runner kind of makes it feel like they are like machines.
Yeah,
But like they're not the whole time. They're not machines. They are humans who were born in a lab, and they were never babies. They started out at proper adult age, and they were implanted with memories to make them feel and have souls. And then they were, I guess, like trained or whatever. Or
they didn't have long lifespans.
yeah,
either.
but I guess that with Ryan Gosling's model, they were like, you now have an indefinite lifespan, so that you can keep on blade running. I find it interesting that they were like, yeah, like we're gonna have this replicant be a Blade Runner, because like it makes sense why you would. But I don't know. The question that wasn't answered in the film is the question of Deckard being a Blade Runner.
No, it's not strictly said, which you called.
Yeah, I think that's a wise decision to not answer that question, because I think it's a stupid. Deckard being a Blade Runner is fucking dumb, and he shouldn't be a Blade Runner. Why would he be? The theme, the most profound thing that Blade Runner has in it, in the original movie, easily the most profound thing that is said, is that Deckard is a human, and the replicants act more human than he does. He is a stoic motherfucker in that film. He's cold-hearted as shit, and that's the point. He's meant to be less human than the actual people who aren't human.
Well, if he wasn't a replicant, then why'd he have that implanted memory of a unicorn?
It's not canon. It's not fucking canon.
The unicorn scene?
He just dreamed of a unicorn.
That's my favorite scene.
Is it really?
Well, as far as like just strange and otherworldly, but still kind of like fitting in.
Fair enough. I
Like-
think that was B-roll from The Shining.
No, it's B-roll from Legend, which is a
Oh.
Ridley Scott fantasy movie. Have you ever seen Legend?
No.
It's basically like every Ridley Scott movie. It has a really cool world, but it's just not that great of a movie.
There you
basically
fucking
about,
go.
like, It's basically about this demon played by Tim Curry. I want you to look up this demon because he is.
So
Yeah, no, I want you to look him up because this demon called Darkness, he like captures like a mortal girl and like falls in love with her, and Tom Cruise plays like this elf boy who has to save him. Tim Curry though in this movie is insane looking. If you haven't seen Legend, like visually, like it's awesome. He has massive horns and it's just
Jesus
yeah.
Christ.
Yeah, isn't that
That's
amazing?
fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Damn, that's epic.
yeah. So it's like every other Ridley Scott movie. Cool visuals, but sometimes they fall apart. And there is a director's cut of
Oh,
of Legend.
my God.
I know, isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, it's awesome.
But one of my criticisms with Blade Runner was the flashbacks and stuff, and I think that like,
Yeah,
just
I
'cause-
didn't like that. It was kind of like people being like, "Oh, in case you forgot."
yeah, and like I think that the great part of Blade Runner, like the universe that this really does capture in a unique way, is like the crypticness of it and like how fucking mysterious everything is.
Yeah.
And I just felt like they were so mysterious with everything else that I was just like, God damn it, I'm so fucking intrigued and like I am so on board with this shit. And then like they just felt the need to like shoehorn that stuff in so the general audience would understand.
Yeah, fair enough.
Even
What,
though
you don't want to be challenged by cinema?
yeah, exactly. But even though the general audience didn't see this movie,
No, because it flopped. Hey, at least we gave it our hard-earned dollars.
you're right, and I'm glad we did. You know,
Yeah.
this movie deserves money. This is one of those movies where I'm like, fuck, like this is why I go to the movies.
This is why cinema exists. What did you think of Jared Leto? He's in 2 scenes in the movie.
Yeah, I felt like he was in it a perfect amount.
Yeah, not too much.
I didn't. Yeah, like
He plays an egotistical, pretentious douchebag, which is what I guess.
he's basically like a Steve
Typecasting, I
Jobs.
guess.
Yeah, he's basically like a Steve Jobs, Mark Zuckerberg, Jared Leto type, where he, like Jared Leto invests in Silicon Valley properties. If you guys didn't know, like he wants to be, like a tech conglomerate. But so like this guy Neander Wallace saves humanity, I guess. And so this gains the trust of like everyone because he like genetically like modifies all this fucking food and shit probably and like saves the species in this crazy farming way that they don't explain, which I loved.
Yeah, I like that too. It's just a quick little blurb at
Yeah.
the beginning.
Yeah,
little
they're just like-
subtitles.
Yeah.
Here's some information you need to know, which is what they did at the beginning of the original Blade Runner. It's like a
Mhm.
title crawl. It's like, here, you need this.
Yeah, and it's not like too
You need-
expositional either. It's
No.
like here,
gonna
these are
need
Blade
this.
Runners, replicants exist, and they call it retiring. That's it. That's all. And like I liked it at the beginning of this one. It's like, and they still go by the name Blade Runner. I thought that was kind of neat. I was like, that's cool. That's pretty cool. I don't know. I liked it. But what were we saying? Yeah, and they don't explain the farming thing at all, how he saved humanity. They don't even almost explain it. They're just like, he saved humanity, he bought Tyrell Corp,
Yeah.
like the giant pyramid thing from the original, and he's there. He's also blind. They don't say that in the crawl, but he is blind. But yeah, it's he was in it for the perfect amount. He's like a douchebag, but also
His
he has his own agenda.
His dialogue was very like, "Oh, angels, they need to have their wings cut before they ascend." Just, bullshit like that.
Yeah, yeah, and he's just got this god complex, and I loved in the end. I'll skip ahead. I loved in the end how nothing happens with this character really.
No,
He doesn't
doesn't
die.
change.
Yeah, he doesn't die. He doesn't change. He's probably likely just going to keep on keeping on, doing exactly what he does.
Living in his weird architectural wonder of a
Yeah.
company. That was cool seeing all that stuff.
It really was. I love the lighting.
lights, yeah,
the
the
lighting during
lighting.
that shit was crazy, especially considering he's blind. Like how like he's on this platform in the middle of water.
Yeah, with like stepping stones leading up to it, and that's just where he hangs out.
Yeah, and he's blind, and like the lights like shift and stuff. It's very bizarre, very bizarre indeed. Jared Leto probably lives in a place like that. Actually, he lives in an old like military like top secret bunker that he bought.
Oh my god.
He bought like an
Where-
Air
where?
Force base.
Really?
Yeah, and like it was like top secret during the Cold War, and like it could probably like survive a nuke. It's pretty weird. You can read about it. It's true.
Where?
I don't know. Probably Nevada, in the middle of the desert, dude. I don't know. Jared Leto's a fucking weird guy, man. What else?
Visually, well, I don't even think we've mentioned Roger Deakins and his
I mean,
breathtaking.
pretty much everyone has though.
Yeah, everyone says it's visually stunning. Honestly, it's visuals.
Yeah, and like
Yeah,
it's a
it is
Roger
great.
Deakins film.
It's expected.
Yeah.
I wasn't taken back by how beautiful it was. The special effects were great because I didn't really even notice any CGI ever.
Yeah, me
for
neither.
the most part, except for maybe like holograms. Oh wait, let's talk about that one scene.
Oh, that scene.
Yeah, I think we
Yes.
both agree that it was probably the best scene in the entire movie.
Yes.
Is when Kay has, I don't know, some girl over that he meets.
Yeah,
A girl who is pushing an agenda.
Yeah, she's integral to the plot. And,
Yeah.
She's not pushing an agenda. Someone's pushing an agenda through her.
Yeah.
Which, interesting and all. But anyway.
Basically, the Joy hologram and this girl like overlap, and they have sex
With Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
And Ryan Gosling is viewing it as having sex with Joy, his
Yeah.
hologram,
Mm-hmm.
and like making love. And it's a very cool scene.
Yeah, you don't see them having sex, but it's just more of the build up to it, and it's just like this hologram that's like sinking on top of like another human's body, and the way their like faces kind of faded in and out and everything. It was it was just really interesting.
Yeah.
It was a very well done scene.
I felt like that their faces merged in such a way a lot of the time where you saw whatever you wanted to see. Like,
Yeah.
if you wanted to see Joy, if you're Ryan Gosling, you want to see Joy, so you're seeing her. But you can also equal parts see the other girl who is mimicking her, who is basically like the vessel for
Yeah.
Joy, if you will.
The physical person.
Yeah, that he would have sex with while Joy
Like,
sits there. And
yeah,
she would
the
receive
illusion.
no
It
pleasure
was
from
like-
that. Yeah, but she receives pleasure from him
Mm-hmm.
receiving the pleasure, which is what she's going for, I guess.
and Joy is just like this mass market, product.
Yeah.
It's nothing really that like personal.
No, but like, damn, like, okay, so the scene where he miniaturizes her down so he can take her on this mission, which I'm surprised he didn't contest at all. He wasn't like, no, I'm leaving you here. I guess he knew that they would raid their apartment and destroy the AI anyway.
Yeah.
So he takes her with. She ends up getting
Terminated.
crushed,
Mhm.
and she says, "I love you" in the last moments. I thought that was a great goodbye.
Yeah.
Because it's heartbreaking. You're just like, fuck, like that was tough. That was a tough scene. I was like, damn, this motherfucker already probably feels so goddamn alone.
He's already like battered and like been blown up and been beaten through walls and muddy blood caked onto his forehead.
Yeah, and like the one thing he loves and makes him feel like he's not totally alone just gets, in seconds, it's gone, like forever.
Yeah.
That's heartbreaking. I don't know. That stuck with me for whatever reason. I don't know. I felt very alone in that moment. I was like, my God, like, that was just that's one of those personal moments in that film where I was like, fuck, that's incredibly alienating.
One thing I didn't like in this movie was Ryan Gosling's beard.
Oh, you didn't like it?
No, it looked too soft. I was like, beards aren't soft like that. They're coarse and
my
rough. And you hear that?
Yeah.
It's like
Usually
they're
I'm
like-
on the
they're
same
like-
page with you.
They're like Brillo pads.
Yeah. Usually.
No, it was nice. I was just jealous.
Oh. I don't know. Usually, I didn't notice his beard one time in this film. Usually, I notice his mustache that he has. Because in La La Land, he has that really annoying mustache. I'm like, get that shit off your face.
Quite a departure from La La Land.
Quite.
A movie about, it's beautiful sunny LA to where
Yep.
it's brick concrete. Wow, pretty much the total opposite.
Yeah. It's a damn, I really enjoyed this film.
Yeah, I don't think there's too much I can say, but probably the best film I've seen so far this year.
Yeah.
I'm not really eager to see it again. I will buy it on Blu-ray and probably watch it then.
Yeah, I don't think this is a movie I want to see again for a bit.
No.
Not really,
No.
because like it's an emotionally draining movie.
Yeah.
It certainly has that message of you don't matter. Like
Yeah, very bleak world. No
Yeah.
hope, no free will, no love.
really, there's not, and like I find it quite interesting that the ending of the film it ends with Harrison Ford. We'll call him Deckard, Harrison Ford's character. He goes to meet his daughter, who is the memory maker,
Yes.
and
Yes, she is.
yeah, and
She's
so-
the only one who's happy, really.
and I find that interesting.
She just she just lives in her own little world.
Yeah.
She can do whatever she
Yeah,
wants, really.
yeah.
We
And-
didn't talk about her much, but
We didn't. She's cool. I don't know.
She-
She was a good character. I felt like.
kind of reminded me of the Oracle from Minority Report, except happy and not just like a pale corpse laying in
Fair
water.
enough,
Have
fair
you seen
enough.
Minority Report?
I have, yeah.
It's actually I'm pretty sure it's based off of a Philip K. Dick story.
I think it is
If you want to fact check, because it has that same feeling. Kind of an underrated movie. Minority Report.
Yeah, I would say so. That is Philip K. Dick as well.
Yeah, all right.
So is
makes sense.
Man
It makes
in the High
sense.
Castle.
Oh, it is. Is it?
Yeah, I believe it is.
Philip K. Dick was all about the bleak dystopian future.
He was. Even though Man in the High Castle is kind of not really. It's not bleak. It's just like that Nazi-controlled America that a lot of
yeah.
people view. I don't know. There's a lot to be said about the Man in the High Castle, the novel, because it's a very
Have you
it's
read
a lot
it?
different than the show. I haven't read it, but I've read. I know enough
You've looked
about
into it.
Yeah, I know enough about it, like where it's the novel presents itself like as so like the man in the high castle, who is really not named in the novel. I don't think I don't know who he is, but like basically Hitler has all these books and like their records and diaries of a different an alternate reality where America won the war, the one we live in, except like that reality is slightly different too. Like they live in this Nazi controlled America with a K, and it's like Wolfenstein. What is that? No, I don't know. I don't
Like the
know. I'm
video
just fucking
game?
around. Yeah. But they live in this Nazi controlled America, and this guy has this giant secret collection of like diaries and books and stuff that recount like in detail the world of like America where they won World War II and like who was president, everything like that. But the Philip K. Dick written book, it kind of rewrites the American history a little bit, because it's like, oh yeah, this guy was president too, but he wasn't president like in real life. He wasn't at all. He's like the runner up or whatever. So it's like Philip K. Dick's reimagining of what America would look like.
Huh.
It's very weird.
Kind of like Watchmen
Yeah.
in a way, because it's like, oh, it's Richard Nixon is president for third term.
Yeah. It is kind of like that.
That alternate American history.
It is kind of like that. But the book ends with a guy basically like meditating and like waking up in the other reality. And then it ends. And that's where season 1 ends. But there's going to be a season 2 on Amazon, because I guess you can't just fucking end something.
No, let's just keep going.
Yeah, let's just kind of like this podcast. But
Let's just keep going with it. Who cares if it has an ending?
Yeah, honestly.
That's a really fascinating premise.
Yeah, it is. It really is. One thing I wanted to get back on Blade Runner though, because Harrison Ford goes to meet his daughter in the end, and nothing is saved. Like replicant kind isn't saved or anything. The story doesn't have a big scope. It's like, yeah, this secret could get out, but it doesn't. And like nothing happens. It's like nothing really happens in this film. I mean, like, personal things happen, but grand scheme, nothing changes for this world.
Kind of like
That's crazy.
Kind of like the first movie.
That's true. I mean, I would say Tyrell dies.
Yeah.
Because Rutger Hauer fucking plucks his eyes out, right?
Yeah, it's a brutal scene.
Yeah, it is a brutal scene. Could have done without that.
Crushes
quite
them like
honest.
grapes.
Yeah. But, you know, in this one, Neander Wallace gets to keep on neandering and wallacing.
Doing his weird things with his gooey replicants.
Yeah. And then, like, they're just gonna pretend like Harrison Ford drowned. And, like, that he's dead. And, like, that Kay died too. And, like, everybody's just gone. And, like, the world's gonna keep being a shithole. And nothing's gonna change. But Harrison Ford gets to meet his daughter. And, like, Kay dies on the steps in a very sad way. For a higher cause, I guess. And, like, it's not to save replicant kind, it's just to bring a father closer to his daughter.
Yeah, just to do something.
Yeah.
What else did Kay have to do?
That's true.
Jerk off to his hologram?
Go buy another.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you find it quite heartbreaking when he's watching the hologram dance, like, or whatever, like, in the, like, for the advert or whatever, the advertisement thing, like, the Joy ad?
The
He's
big
just
pink
watching
one?
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I liked that scene.
Yeah, I felt like that was very sad. Because he's just like, fuck, like, I really don't mean anything.
Yeah. Not even this joy thing. It's just a product.
Yeah. God
Is it kind
damn.
of similar to that movie Her? I never saw it, but isn't it kind of a...
I think it's just kind of an element.
Yeah.
Because it's a great added layer of complexity, but it doesn't need to be the whole movie.
No.
And it's not. Not that Her's bad or anything. I haven't seen it. But, you know.
Blade Runner. It's making my brain hurt. It's very dense. This thing, I'd say.
It really is. There's just a lot going on in this
fucking movie.
Yeah. It's kind of emotionally exhausting, too. And it is a long movie. You said you felt the length of the film when Harrison Ford finally shows up.
Yeah.
And so did I. I was like,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. This
Honestly,
is so late.
He honestly probably couldn't be in the movie. Oh, wait. One thing I do want to say is what the fuck was with Harrison Ford's wardrobe? Like, are those just the clothes he was wearing? He's like, fine, I'll do it, but I just want to wear some jeans. And he's wearing, like, this, like, soft, like, gray faded shirt that looks like you'd buy it at, like, Target in the men's section.
Yeah.
He's just, like, wearing some clothes. And, like, Ryan Gosling's wearing, like, this, like, duster, like, trench coat.
Yeah, he's wearing a really cool jacket.
Yeah, which you did call.
He looks... Well, because I said that he always wears cool jackets.
Harrison Ford should have been given a cool jacket in this movie. He's just kind of, like, standing there.
I kind of like that he doesn't really have anything to do in this movie. He just kind of almost drowns in a scene. He talks to Jared Leto. He's like, I know what's real. And Jared Leto's like, but do you? And
But do you?
yeah, and then he's like, all right, I'm gonna go meet my daughter. That was a good Harrison Ford. I'm gonna go meet my daughter. Who the fuck are you? I don't sound like Harrison Ford anymore.
But yeah, Blade Runner 2049, visually stunning, great
Visually,
soundtrack, dense movie, gives you a lot to think about. Great sci-fi masterpiece.
It's a flawed masterpiece. Good shit.
If I were to rate this,
I'm not giving it a rating because I don't fucking like that shit.
yeah, fuck it, I'm not going to either.
Yeah.
Just go see
It's
it.
conforming to the fucking... It's
To the
conforming to what people think.
IMDb god.
Yeah. Fuck them. You know what's great? The wonderful taste of Yingling in your mouth.
I could go for one. I could go for 1 or 8 right now.
Oh wow. Yingling is delicious. It's the beer of many. Everybody loves Yingling.
Only on the East Coast.
Yep. Go to your nearest gas station.
Or East Coast.
Go to your nearest East Coast. And just ask. Don't ask. just go and get it for yourself, you fucking independent pig.
Well, if you are gonna ask, say, do you have any sextets of ale? That's from an episode of The Simpsons. When it's from like season 3. They buy Homer this like subconscious lose weight audio tape. The idea is that Homer is supposed to put on headphones and listen to this audio tape about dieting, and it's gonna subconsciously make him eat less. But instead, he gets one for increased vocabulary.
Oh my god!
So he has like the most like impeccable vocabulary skills. And there's a scene where he's opening up his fridge. He goes, "Ooh, a sextet of ale," and he grabs a 6-pack of Duff. A sextet of ale.
That's actually gold.
Yeah, it is. It's a good episode.
I really love that. But just go in the beer cooler of your nearest gas station or East Coast and get a 6-pack of Yingling bottles, because those are the best. Don't get the cans. They're shit.
The 6-pack of Tallboy cans. It's more beer, but
it's less quality.
Yeah, it's not as refreshing.
It's not as
that metallic taste.
It's not as tastefully stunning. But yeah, just at the counter, just say, "Hey, this one's going out to Snyder-Collin." And
crack.
Yeah, the clerk will know what you mean.
Remember when cracking a cold one open with the boys was the hottest meme?
Yeah, remember when I fucking hated the internet? Oh, wait. I still do.
Yep.
I still hate the internet.
I do too.
Despise it.
Here's a fun little segment. What if we just pulled up stupid things people are saying on Facebook?
Oh, okay.
Just for 1 minute.
Yeah, let's do that real quick. And then we have the return of a classic mail time segment.
Do we?
We do have mail.
Oh my god.
It's from David.
Oh. Yay. Hooray.
David's gonna be so upset. Oh my god. I'm gonna go ahead and read that.
Yeah, there's too many dumb things.
Yeah, that's fine. Alright. It's made out to the Snyder-Collin Omega podcast.
That's us.
I don't know what that's referencing. Dear Snyder-Collin, how's it going, guys? It's been a while since I've sent in a question. You're damn right it has, Dav. But don't worry, I'm still listening to each and every one of your pods. My question this week is, if you could be known for something, or known as the blank guy, like the fire guy, or, like from The Office, like, oh, I'm now the fire guy. You know what you catch my drift.
Yeah.
I'm improvising that. If you could be known as the blank guy, what would it be? Here's an example. Snyder, the podcast guy, or Colin, the man who never shat himself. These are just
I did shit myself once.
Oh, well, I guess.
So I can't be him.
That
yeah.
name, yeah. Also, are you guys free on Sunday? I got some filming I gotta get done. I need some quality hands. Faces to accompany me.
I already talked to David, and I'm free Sunday. You late close.
Yeah. So
I already looked. I already looked into it, and I was like, no, you can't.
Yeah,
if I were to be known for something, I guess just a good person who inspired people and touched many lives.
Jeez, that's a deep response. I guess I would be known as the podcast guy, which is what he, because, like, I kind of already am among my friend groups. A lot of people are like, whoa, you're Jacob, that guy who has a podcast. I'm like, you're fucking right, I am.
I mean, there's lots of little silly things we'd like to be known for, like, oh, he was
for sure
really good at a sport, or oh, he was really buff or had a big penis. But I'd like to be known for a guy who really enjoyed his hobbies, the bands that I like to listen to and the movies that I watch, Colin, he really, he was really into the things that he enjoyed, and he liked learning about them.
Yeah, I think that's a very
besides just being a good person, which I'm trying to work on.
Hey, I think you are a good person, Colin.
Thank you.
I think you're already a good person, and I would rather not host a podcast with anyone else in the world.
Aw. Same here, Jacob.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
It's like we're on the same page.
Yeah, it is like that, isn't it?
It's like we're one side of the same coin.
You're right. Let's go have a beer after this. All right. Well, I think that might as well just do it for the Snyder-Collin podcast this week, should it?
Yeah, this is gonna be a pretty lengthy episode because this is part 2.
I actually think we're gonna come in around an hour 45.
Really?
Yeah. Because the other one was about, 50 minutes. I think I have to cut a couple things out.
Oh, yeah, you do. Some
Yeah.
things that should never be said on air.
Yeah, probably.
Um,
Unless you donate to our Patreon page where you get all the extras. You get to talk about how you get to hear how we say, I don't know, the N-word on air.
bigotry,
Yeah,
sexism.
you're right. We don't actually say the N-word on air, by the way.
No.
We're not like a Harrison Ford in the original cut of Blade Runner.
Yeah, you showed me that. It's so blunt.
It
and,
really is.
It's like nails on a chalkboard.
Oh, Jesus Christ. It really is. That's very shocking.
Because his whole narration in the original Blade Runner is so phoned in and lazy,
Yeah.
and then he says this racial slur, and it's
He's the type to call a black man a blank. Yeah, I'm like, oh my god, that's so wow. Why would you ever say that? Why would you sign
who
on?
wrote that?
It's gotta be Ridley Scott probably wrote that on the toilet.
I mean, it's a blunt line. I guess maybe it's just Harrison Ford saying it like lazily.
I think it is, yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
because
like
it is
doesn't give a shit.
because it's a brutal line.
Yeah. It's not even presented as that brutal, because like he kind of just says the N-word like it's like
he's
remember
getting
when
paid to say it.
Yeah, remember when racial slurs were a thing? He kind of says that, like says it in that tone, where he's like, remember when that mattered? Now we're just racist toward replicants. So like the whole like issue of race.
it's a little deeper now. It's like, are you real or are you
Yeah.
cloned?
Doesn't matter if you're white, black, Hispanic,
just matters
whatever.
If you're a replicant.
Just matters
if you
matters
came
if
out of
you're-
a woman.
Yeah. Okay, one more thing before we wrap this up. Did you find the birth sequence weird in Blade Runner?
When the replicant like falls out of the bag.
Yeah.
I think in the hands of a different filmmaker, it could have come off as a little too artsy fartsy.
I just didn't understand why that would need to happen. Why would it need to come out of this plastic condom like thing?
The way I see it is that it's like a process.
Mhm.
This is just how I pictured it. So it's like this long bag, and maybe like it's slowly,
But why?
because it's symbolic.
Of what?
Birth,
I
artificial
guess.
birth.
I mean, it is like coated in birthing material.
After
Or like
goo.
lubricant.
Yeah, lubed up.
I guess it is to like present the feeling of birth.
And to show that they're very, they're not like being manufactured by like machines. Like, whoa, hey everyone, I'm a robot.
Yeah. It's just kind of like to underline the point that like it's
They're more
not,
organic.
Yeah, it's not an android. It's a fucking human being that they just printed out.
One thing, this is the last thing I'm going to say about Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Besides that it's a excellent movie.
Yeah.
The guy who was in Captain Phillips was in this.
He was.
Yeah.
He was.
I
I
remember-
noticed that too.
I remember reading that on like Wikipedia in the cast, because there's a whole thing about how I don't remember his name, like
Don't try to do this. This is
Klaatu
going to be
Verada
very
Nikto
racist.
or something. It
that's-
starts with a B. He was in Captain Phillips and he got this Oscar nomination, and then like he was kind of just like, what
Nowhere.
do I do next? Like I have bills to pay. So I thought it was cool that he was given a small role in Blade Runner.
Yeah, I like that too. I just thought like I was like, good to know that this guy is still getting work because he's a good actor.
Yeah. And that I haven't even seen Captain Phillips, but that line, "I'm the captain," that's kind of like an iconic line from
I'm
like
the
the past
captain.
like 5 or 10 years. Like that's a very quotable line.
It really is.
Look at me, I'm the captain.
Yeah,
Or I'm the captain now.
Yeah, I think
it's
he says I'm the captain now.
yeah, something like that. It's a great line from
It
a
is a
movie
great
I
line.
haven't even seen.
It is a great line. I saw that in a hotel room with me, my dad, my uncle, and my cousin, and I fell asleep like 25 minutes in.
Oh man, you missed out on good bonding time.
I did.
Did your
Except I
dad-
woke up at the end when Captain Phillips lives, I guess.
I thought you were gonna say you woke him and your dad was like, "Look at me."
I'm the captain now.
Don't you fucking forget that, son.
Oh my god. Alrighty, well, we'll go ahead and wrap things up. You can find us on Facebook at the Snyder-Collin Podcast. It's
We
a
have
podcast.
a page.
Yep, it's a page. Go ahead and like it, follow it. You can ask any question on there, and we'll be sure to answer it on the podcast. And I will also just send you a quick reply or something on the page as well. You can also email the show if you want at flyingpotatoprod, P-R-O-D, at gmail.com. I'll answer any email there. Those are where Honestly Dav sends his emails as well. Obviously, all of this information is going to be provided in the description of this show as well.
Yep. Like always.
Yep. You can find me on Twitter at Jacob's Wetsuit, and also at Instagram at that same handle. Collin, where can we find you again?
You can find me on Twitter at Collin Goody, Collin_Goody. Sometimes I share things related about Twin Peaks.
Exactly. And that's good with an E at the end.
Yes.
G-O-O-D-E. Good stuff.
Last thing I'm going to say is watch the Child's Play movies, 1, 2, and 3. They're a good time, especially for Halloween season.
Yeah.
You know what? We should, the week before Halloween, we should have a Halloween special.
We should.
We should.
That'd be so much fun.
Yeah, we'll talk about Halloween memories, all that good stuff.
Man, yeah, I actually have a thing that I could talk about right now, but I'll save it for that episode because it's going to be fun. Yeah. And then we'll live binge watch Stranger Things and review it.
We'll stream it on Twitch.
Yeah, we will.
We'll have like a little face cam once we get like 10 people watching. Be like, all right, everyone, press play now. We already have it loaded and synced up, so just sync it up to our time. We can watch Stranger Things 2 in real time.
Fuck yeah.
All right. Thanks for listening, everyone.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for listening as always. Have a good one, and we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.